when you know you have a good publicist when you get Jim Brewer to be your opening act on a night like this. Sure, it's a highlight of his career. Congratulations, Jim. When I look around and I see all these famous celebrities or comedians and best-selling authors, I realize that I am the proverbial author to be named later. Either that or a librarian lost her ass to Harvey Weinstein in a poker game. But I am here, and I don't want you to be confused by the fact that Paula Poundstone is following me. If we were doing this by order of importance, I would have done my act about breakfast time today. And about a month ago, I got a call from my publisher saying, "We've got news. There's been a change, and we're no longer going to use that galley cover." And I, of course, said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, we did a poll. We did an informal poll. And it turns out, I'm quoting directly here, women don't like you on the cover of your book." And so I realize now that it's been officially proclaimed that I am no longer attractive to women.
Not true.
So, that being said, knowing that most of you aren't attracted to me, I do want to tell you that the new cover of the book, which comes out August 24th, is a cheeseburger. So I have been replaced by a cheeseburger. And apparently women, and I imagine men, are more attracted to a cheeseburger. And it's just a goddamn cartoon of a cheeseburger, but it's not even a real cheeseburger. I was 36 years old and weighed in at 263 pounds, or as I like to think about it, 119 kilograms. It's serious, you know, our country is in the middle of an obesity epidemic. And if you look around this room, especially over at this side of the room, you can see that we're all part of that epidemic. So, you know, when I look at my little girls, and I'm fortunate because I have a 5-year-old who still calls McDonald's Old McDonald. She doesn't get it yet. But, you know, a few, what are they called? Happy Meals later and Buzz Lightyears later and whatnot, they're going to get to her too, like they've gotten to most of us. And it's a big concern, and so I'm hoping that this book, while it both entertains people and it's funny, I hope at the same time that it helps shed light on what I think is an important topic, which is what's going on with our culture, not just with my fat ass, but with your fat ass too. So I'm just going to read, this is the beginning of the book, the way the chapter 1 starts. There's an introduction, but other than that, this is how it starts. And it's only 4 pages long because I imagine you would rather hear Paula Poundstone than me. So if you guys laugh, I'll read fast. August is an insufferable time of year in Bethesda, Maryland. Once the cherry blossom... It's 98 degrees outside right now, and it's June. Once the cherry blossoms have come and gone, a dense blanket of heat and humidity fall on the city and doesn't let up until well past Labor Day. During the late summer, there's little to enjoy in town besides local blue crowds and good central air conditioning. Other than that, you'd be best just hanging out in Florida. At least everybody there's got a pool. During the height of the summer, I usually try to stay indoors as much as possible. For a 6'2" guy who just recently surged past 260 pounds, the heat makes sweat pour out of me like Albert Brooks in broadcast news. But with 2 young daughters, like it or not, I'm outside all the time. We have one of those $14.99 Toys R Us plastic pools in our backyard. Unfortunately, Sasha and Romy cry every time I try to get in with them. It drives me crazy. One day last August, I made a big show out of throwing the back door open, stripping down to my boxers, and jumping into the pool with them, thinking I'd get some credit for that wacky dad jumps in the pool routine. I was met instead with the shrieks of 2 terrified girls and a familiar look of disgust from my wife, Brooke. The fact that half the pool's water had spilled out onto the deck didn't help my cause. This is our pool, Daddy, Sasha yelled. Edward, get out of the goddamn pool, Brooke added. They're upset. There's no more water, Sasha added. You're too big. Mommy, he's too big. I was too big. With my feelings hurt and my ego bruised, I got out of the pool and threw some early childhood guilt at Sasha. Daddy bought this pool. You're not sharing well. That makes me feel bad. How about I take it back to the store or give it to a girl who wants to share with her daddy? Very helpful, honey, Brooke added. Thanks for stopping by. She was mean to me first. She's 4. There's still such a thing as manners. Edward, go inside. I could not wait for the cool fronts of autumn. That night in bed, Brooke finally brought it up. She not only pointed out that there was an elephant in the room, she took aim and shot at it. We've got to talk about what's happening with your weight. Is this because of the pool today? Are you serious? Sasha was rude to me. A child, your child, was rude to you? Yeah, she made me feel fat. Honey, what, I am fat? Is that the point? I'm not calling you fat, but I am concerned about you. I want you to hear something, she said. Brooke reached into her nightstand and pulled out my micro cassette recorder, which is never a good thing for your wife to do. I quickly went through a horrifying montage of all those things that could be on the recorder. It was a coin toss whether or not to simply listen or smash the recorder to pieces and jump out the window like Chief in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Thinking better of it, I did as she requested and pressed play. The recording sounded like an animal doing something unseemly, perhaps having sex, killing and eating its prey, or slowly dying. Whatever it was, I felt sorry for it and quietly hoped it was done suffering. What is that? It's you, she said. Me? What am I doing? Protecting my cubs? You're snoring. Impossible. That's why I recorded it. It's unbelievable. How long does it go on for? Forever.